All right, let's talk about the unit circle. You know, just hearing that phrase can give you flashbacks to math class, right? Staring at this crazy-looking diagram and just feeling totally lost. Well, if you've ever struggled with it, you're definitely not alone. And today, we're going to finally crack it. But we're not going to memorize it. No, we are going to understand it. And I promise you, it's way easier than you've been led to believe.
I mean, this just says it all, doesn't it? This is such a common feeling. You see this massive chart of angles and fractions, and your brain just kind of goes, nope. It feels like you've got to be some kind of memory wizard and a math genius all rolled into one. But what if that's just not true?
And here it is, the beast. For years, the advice has always been the same, right? Just memorize it, make some flashcards, drill it over and over, and just brute force it into your brain. But honestly, look at this thing. It's no wonder that approach just doesn't work for most of us. It looks completely impossible.
So, we're going to throw that old advice right out the window. The real secret to mastering the unit circle isn't about trying harder to memorize. It's about a total shift in your approach. It's about finding the simple, beautiful pattern that's hiding in plain sight.
This, right here, this is the key. The folks who really get the unit circle, they don't actually have it memorized in the way you think. They get the logic. They could build the whole thing from scratch in like 30 seconds because they know what all the little pieces actually mean, and that's exactly what we're about to do.
So, let's strip it all back. Let's start from square one. Before we even think about all those angles and coordinates, let's ask the most basic question of all. What even is a unit circle?
That's it. No, seriously, that is the whole definition. And it's hard. A unit circle is just a simple circle plopped onto a graph. And its radius, the distance from the center to the edge, is exactly 1. That's why it's called a unit circle. 1 unit. Simple, right? All that other complicated stuff is just built on top of this one super simple idea. Now lean in, because this is the single biggest aha moment you're going to have. Every single point on the edge of that circle has an address, right? An x, y coordinate. Well, it turns out that for any angle on the circle, the x-coordinate is just the cosine of that angle, and the y-coordinate is the sine. That's it. Once you really, truly get that x, y is the same thing as cosine sine, everything else just clicks into place.
Okay. So how do we find those x, y values without whipping out a calculator? This is the part where everyone thinks the heavy-duty memorization comes in, but it doesn't. I'm telling you, you only need to know 3 numbers. Just 3.
And I'm not exaggerating. Not a dozen fractions, not a whole confusing chart, just 3 little values. Let's meet them. First up, we have 1/2. Easy enough. This is our smallest value.
Next, we have the square root of 2/2. This is our middle value.
And finally, the square root of 3/2. This is our biggest value. That's the whole team. These 3 numbers are all you need.
So check this out. This is how they work in that first quadrant. At 30 degrees, the point on the circle is way over to the right, but not very far up. So its x value is the big number, root 3/2, and its y value is the small one, 1/2. Now look at 60 degrees. It's the opposite. It's not very far to the right, but it's way up. So the x and y values just flip. And at 45 degrees, smack in the middle, it's gone the same distance over as it has up. So both x and y are that middle value, root 2/2. It's not memorization, it's just logic.
Okay, this is where it gets really cool. Now that we've got that one quadrant down, we can use some dead simple patterns to build out the entire rest of the circle without learning a single new number.
So check out this amazing pattern. Just look at the numbers inside the square roots. For cosine, the x value, as you go up from 30 to 60 degrees, the numbers count down 3, 2, 1. And for sine, the y value, they count up 1, 2, 3. Seriously, that's the pattern. 3, 2, 1 on top, 1, 2, 3 on the bottom. So simple.
And if you want a physical tool to remember this, guess what? You've got one attached to your arm. Your own hand can work like a built-in calculator for that whole first quadrant. It's a fantastic little trick to figure out the values on the fly.
Let's actually do this together. Hold up your left hand so you're looking at your palm. Your thumb is 0 degrees, pointer is 30, middle is 45, ring finger is 60, and your pinky is 90. Got it? Okay, let's find the coordinate for 30 degrees. That's your pointer finger, so fold it down. Now for cosine, or x, just count the fingers above that folded finger. There are 3 fingers, right? So the cosine is the square root of 3/2. For sine, or y, count the fingers below it. There's just 1, the thumb. So the sine is the square root of 1, which is just 1 over 2. And boom, the coordinate is root 3 over 2, comma 1 over 2. You just figured it out with your hand.
So, what about the rest of the circle? This is the best part. It's ridiculously easy. It's the exact same three numbers, just mirrored across the graph. The only thing that changes is whether they're positive or negative. And you already know that from basic algebra, right? If you go left, x is negative. If you go down, y is negative. You literally know everything you need to build the entire circle right now. So here's the real point. This is about so much more than just a party trick for the unit circle. This is about a fundamental shift in how you think about math and maybe how you think about learning anything.
This just nails it. The goal was never to become a human calculator that's just memorized a bunch of facts. The goal is to become a pattern finder, to look at something that seems complex and see the simple, elegant structure underneath. When you stop trying to memorize and start trying to understand how things connect, these subjects that seem so impossible suddenly open right up.
And this idea, it goes so far beyond math class. Seriously, think about it. Learning a language, playing an instrument, even understanding history. How often do we get stuck trying to memorize individual words or dates or names, when the real breakthrough comes from finally seeing the bigger patterns, the grammar, the theory, the story? That shift in mindset from just memorizing to truly understanding, that is the secret sauce.